So on the program this day, like I did indicate earlier, we are analyzing the drug problem against the backdrop of the commemoration of World Drug Day today. And to set the ball rolling, we are going to take this report courtesy of Clarice Fonzewong on drug abuse, also known as substance abuse, which is a misuse of substances such as drugs or alcohol in a way that is harmful to oneself or others. And drug abuse can lead to physical, emotional and social problems, including addiction, health issues, relationship conflicts and impaired judgment. Clarice Fonzewong in the following report takes us into the world of drug abuse.
Drug abuse is defined as the continuous, excessive or bad use of legal or illegal drugs, notwithstanding the adverse physical, psychological or social consequences of such use. The cause of drug abuse may include accessibility. Easy access to drug causes substance abuse by increasing the chances of a person trying out with a drug and consequently abusing it. Another cause of drug abuse can be social factors. These can include peer pressure, a desire to fit in, or stress from work or school. These social factors can play a role in substance abuse by serving as driving force to compel someone to drug excess. They may start using substance to feel relaxed or even just to temporarily forget their problems without thinking of the possibility that they may develop more serious problems as a result of this habit in future. Environmental factors such as family members engage in using drugs, parenting styles, social media interaction, and unrealistic depictions of addictions in media. Children who grow up in an environment where family members engage in drug abuse are exposed to substance use in early life and therefore more likely to adopt the behavior in adulthood. Mental health conditions can also cause the use of drugs. This can lead to self-medication of legal or illegal substances. Genetic predispositions stems from specific genetic differences which are frequently inherited from one's parents. Having no social support can also play a role in drug abuse by contributing to emotional distress due to lack of connection with other people, which may lead to someone's connecting to anything around them, including drugs. Curiosity is another factor that can lead to drug abuse. The most common type of drug abuse or drug consumptions include alcohol, cocaine, heroin, tobacco, and inhalants. Drug abuse can affect families and relationships by changing priorities of the affected persons, causing them to neglect responsibilities at home, work, or school in favor of drug use. Addressing drug abuse can include a multiple approach with various treatment and programs tailored to individual needs. The most common use of treatment to drug addicts includes detox or withdrawal processes, rehabilitation programs, counseling, therapy, family therapy, and participation in support groups. It is time for us to draw attention to the war that drug consumption is dangerous to the society, to one's health, and the world at large.
Yeah, drug abuse is really an issue to be tackled, and that's why on the program this morning I'm receiving Fokwa Emmanuel. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very
well. You're welcome to the program. CY International. Oh, Pancho, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, my brother. We thank God.
Okay.
Thank God.
Now, gentlemen, we are talking about an issue that has been existing for quite a long time, and we wish that we could address it, and not just addressing it, but kick it out for once and for all. But it's going to be difficult, but definitely there are strides that are being made in that light. Now, Pancho, you have taken the fight against drug abuse to prisons, to schools. Tell me just how you're going about it.
Actually, it's not an easy work to do. And honestly, we have really neglected this fight against drugs. I think we are not doing enough because the situation is getting out of hands. It's really getting out of hands. I have a lot of challenges doing this, putting my own life in risk, because the people who are promoting this are not happy when I'm carrying this campaign, and I'm not apologetic about it. So it has not been really easy. Go to the prisons, go to the schools, and honestly, I'm here for just one purpose: to please beg the government to assist us to carry on this sensitization, especially in schools. Like you guys, you can see, it takes drug influence for a young child to take weapon and enter the school to either hurt the teacher or the schoolmate. It takes drugs for a young man to carry even weapon to kill somebody. You see, so it is something that we are really, I don't know why we are silent about this. So I'm here to really plead the government that they should assist us in this campaign, mostly financially, because going to schools, we have to galvanize artists, bring them together, because we are using artists is the best way we can preach to schools. Because if you just go, no student is going to give you ears. But you see, with TZ Panchak, everybody they excited.
They deliver the message.
They will deliver the message. So that is our strategy, and that is why I'm here also with Taron X. He's a famous artist, rapper, a good talent, but he's also somebody who the situation has really put him there. Right now he's up and he is with me in this fight.
All right.
Big time.
Let me talk to Fokwa Emmanuel, Taron X, and that's your artistic name.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about your history with drugs.
Oh, okay. First of all, I want to thank God, because God is the only person who can put a hand on those who can put a hand on those who can affect the drug board. Now, you can call me the baddest of them all. Like, I have done it all. But there comes a time when, like I said, it's God. I started having like pain. Started understanding. When you understand the pain of those, see, you can be thinking that those people who are affected by drugs are the ones feeling the pain. The drug addicts themselves, they are in far worse pain than those people who are being affected by it. Now, I came out with a certain burden to explain or to put out a strategy by which the addicts could be helped. Because you cannot solve someone's problem unless you know the person's problem. The reason why we're going about solving or struggling to solve the drug problem in Cameroon or in Africa, the way we're going about it, is because there's nobody who really has that experience, who is on board. Everybody just creates their own whatever they think they can create to protect themselves from these people. But the fact that you are not infected by addiction doesn't mean you're not affected by it, because you live in a society where there are people who are infected by it.
Now tell me, Taron X, what pushed you into drug consumption, and how did you get out?
Okay, there are many things that put you, it depends on the age. That's why I teamed up with CY, because it depends on the age, your age.
Now I'm talking about you particularly.
All right. What put me in was some sort of acceptance. First of all, I was born short. So you want to belong. You need to have some kind of courage. You know, you want to belong. It's all about belonging.
You want to feel too good about yourself.
About myself. So I wanted to feel better. But not knowing that these things have withdrawal syndromes. Like you get into it, and then when you want to get out, you cannot get out. You know, you cannot get out. It has withdrawal syndrome. That's like you get sick because, like, I was into narcotics, not just regular drugs. Now, when you want to get out of it, you now feel sick, like totally sick, like you have HIV. Yes, like you have every symptom of every disease. Your whole system changes. Like you're no longer a human being. You can stay for a week without sleeping. You can stay for a week without eating. Like you derive energy from the sunlight. You actually lose your mind. You become something else. You understand? You imagine you being so bad and having every reason to be that bad. You understand? Every explicable reason. The same way you think that that person is bad is the same way the person thinks that you are supposed to be the victim.
Okay, I'm loving this conversation, and that is why I want to bring in ESONG, who is the Secretary General of the Narcotics and Drug Prevention Association. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
How are you doing this morning?
Fine, thank you.
Having listened to old PANCHO, Siwa International, and Taron X, what are your impressions? What is the state of drug abuse in Cameroon, and how are we addressing it?
Okay, thank you very much. In our association, we specialize mostly on prevention and sensitization. You know, we've just listened to the story, and we understand that if he had the opportunity to have all the necessary information and guidelines, the effects and consequences of the substances that he's taking, I think maybe he could have, at a certain level, at a certain psychological level, made other decisions. So we believe that education to address this drug issue is very, very important. And so we lack children nowadays through media, through influence. We've heard the story, the social influence, and at a certain age especially. That's why we work mostly with youths, because at that level we have problem of identification. Children will easily identify themselves with people who are in drugs, for example. Smoking, drinking. We have other substances like shisha. We all know what's happening in our snack bars today. All the youths want to take it, want to consume it. It's like social prestige. So we need to address the real issues of drug abuse, because we have drugs and we have drug abuse. Generally, it's the abuse that is leading to escalations. So before arriving at that certain level, our association comes in then to sensitize with preventive campaigns.
Okay, let's talk about the campaigns. What do you actually do on the ground?
On the ground, we do educative talks, most especially educative talks. For example, this year we are at the Denfo prison.
Okay.
Yes, we discussed that with the juvenile, because we think that the juvenile, they are there for a certain reason. Most probably they will be going out. So we understand that most of these children who are in prison, for example, not all of them have come there because of drugs. Some might be stealing, some for other reasons. So but when they come there, they will meet other children who are in drugs, for example. And we know that they are there for some time. After they'll have to do social reinsertion. Now, in prison there, they will be maybe initiated. But if we give them the right information, we sensitize them, and prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'll be coming back to you, ESONG, Secretary General of the Narcotics and Drug Prevention Association. Now, old PANCHO, you did mention that it needed government help, but then what are some of the activities that you do carry out on a day-to-day basis in order to make sure that drug consumption is reduced?
Thank you very much, my brother. You see, I'm the founder of the NGO called Prisoner Support, and we have been into this campaign for too long. Like I say, time to time we go to tears. You know, they have this their tear. Tear is where they gather themselves, like mostly the uncompleted buildings. And you know, it takes an extraordinary courage to go there and to talk to them. Now, one thing I discover about these drug addicts is that you don't scare them away. You don't punish them. You bring them close to you, because if you bring them close to you, trust me, you can easily penetrate their mindset when you are close to them and you are friendly with them. Like I used to say, you don't arrest them and send them to prison. When you send them to prison, based on my experience, they become more wild. When you try to attack them with some set of, force, they become too wild. So they are my friends. They trust me. They can tell their problems to me, because I've made them to understand that we are the same and we have been more dangerous things than this. So I do that daily, and I want to say this, please. I really plead the government to go so harsh with owners of guest houses. Because it makes no sense for somebody to rent their guest house for children like 14 years, 15 years, 16, 13. What they do inside that guest house, my brother, is unexplainable. You understand? I'm a man of the street, so I know all these things. So what I do is I go to their areas, and number one thing that is causing this use of today, peer pressure. Peer pressure. That is like like Taron said, they want to belong. They want to do everything. They want to see that this man is having these shoes, I need to have a bigger one than that one. So I'm just doing my best to go, taking the risk, go up and down in prison, building their psychology, and that is just what I do on a daily basis. That's why you see I can easily relate with somebody like Taron X and the rest of them who are the big guns. Yeah.
Now, Taron X, old PANCHO mentioned to you many times while speaking, you're an example of someone who was into that world and you emerged from the abyss. Now you are an artist.
Yeah.
Now, tell me briefly about what you do. Your music.
My music is, if you listen to my music is focused on sensitization, bringing out the word. This is it. Addicts are patients. If you approach the world of addiction from a criminal aspect, you've missed it all. An addict is a patient, and the symptom of that illness is crime. So if you want to attack that crime, you don't attack the crime, you attack the illness. You understand? These addicts just need to be accepted. An addict's problem is lack of acceptance. He doesn't have a society where he's understood. So if you notice, almost every addict is in the bush. They are away from the general population, and when they come, they just come to somehow revenge. That's how they come. They come to revenge because according to them, they are not being taken equally as everybody. Because what they are going through is a psychological problem. It's a mental issue. You understand? And if you look at it from another point of view, these people don't create these drugs. They consume them.
All right. Okay. Now I'm going to ask Mr. EKWE ESONG before we part ways on the program this morning. One last question. You're the Secretary General of the Narcotics and Drug Prevention Association. Today is World Drug Day. Are there any activities planned?
Yes. As I earlier said, for our association, for the International Day Against Drugs, that's today, 26th of June, we anticipated activities. We went to full prison because of the agenda of the administration. So we're giving that particular date. So it entered in alignment with the activities that we programmed for that day. That said, notwithstanding, the activities continue nationwide. And to address the issue, government is doing a lot through the National Drugs Control Committee. I think they also have other activities. From here, I'll be there. And there you have psychologists, you have, because to address this issue, you have political will, you have associations and NGOs who have to come together. Because as the panelists earlier said, there are a lot of problems to resolve. These drugs don't meet themselves on the street. So the message I'll give for this day is, we are giving a red card. We are giving a red card for drug consumption today. And that people should be aware that drugs is an international issue that destroys family, destroys communities, and destroys the health, and has also judicial consequences.
Red card. All PANCHO, I think all of us will need to have a red card and carry it throughout the day or today, and why not beyond today. Red card to drug consumption and red card to drug abuse. And thank you very much, all PANCHO. Thank you very much, Faron X, and thank you again, EKWE ESONG, for weighing in on this conversation on drug abuse on the program today. And we did ask Cameroonians what they understood about drug abuse and the causes. And this is what they had to say in this Vox Pop produced by Valencia Ngofoli.
Drug abuse and the illegal taking of drugs which are not prescribed by the doctor or taken overdose. So I can have this by roadside drugs sellers. We can have it through poverty. Poverty causes people to have this drug abuse, and we have the consequences of this drug abuse. It causes premature death. It causes mental disorder, miscarriages, there are a number of them. So, and even causes abortion, because some people go to buy drugs from roadsides without prescription. That they are also pregnant, and it can cause this can cause abortion.
I think the major effects of drug abuse could be categorized in two groups. We have the social effects, that is the consequences on the society, and the individual effects, that's the consequences that it has on the individual who is the abuser. And most often on the abuser, we have things like death or health troubles that could be caused. Then on the society, we have generally social deviances. We have what we call juvenile delinquency and things that go such. But as well, we have economic problems that can come as a result of it, given that the effect it has on the individuals plays a vital role too on their mental, plays a role on their way of seeing and thinking, and as a result it slows down economic growth and development.
Drug abuse is caused by social factor due to peer pressure from friends, other family members. Some are also influenced by their neighborhood. We also have depression, which occurs when someone who is depressed take excess drug out of ignorance. These people indulge themselves in criminal activities. Some get addicted. Others have develop health issues that might lead to death.
My name is Fumu Iflime, and what I understand about drug abuse is that drug abuse leads to mental health, most especially to young youth in Cameroon, which can lead to disorder and lead to noise crime waves in most of the areas. And I advise the youths of Cameroon that they should avoid taking drug abuse and they should avoid taking things that can lead to harmful health.
The television, the CRTV, that was our focus of the day, the drug problem, drug consumption, and overcoming addiction.